And welcome to the Anita Purvis Nature Center with the Urbana Park District. I'm Judy Miller. I'm the Environmental Program Manager for the Park District, and we'll be taking you for a short hike in Busey Woods to see what's blooming. The Nature Center is closed until further notice. As you can see in front of the Nature Center, our serviceberry bushes are in full bloom. They'll have a berry that'll come ripe around June, and all the birds will come and eat them. The Nature Center's bird habitat area, we do have some bluebells blooming. They have a lovely trumpet-colored or bell-shaped blue flower. They also are blooming in Busey Woods. Also blooming in the habitat garden and almost finished is the bloodroot. It has large leaves that wrap around the stem. There's just one blooming today. These are almost done. As you hike today, please observe the CDC's cautions and keep a safe distance between people. If you encounter somebody, let them pass, especially as you approach the bridge. If there's somebody coming towards you, please wait over by the gathering area to allow them to pass you. Trail etiquette number 2 during this pandemic is to watch carefully what you touch. Please try to keep your hands inside your pocket. Spring flowers have to complete their entire cycle before the trees leaf out. Their short period of growing is what makes them so special. Here we have swamp buttercup and the violet flower blooming. The swamp buttercup, as its name implies, grows mostly where it's wet, and Busey Woods has lots of wet spots. Here we have spring beauties, which bloom for about 3 days each. They tend to cover the forest floor this time of year. You can find them both in Busey Woods and in Crystal Lake Park. Spring beauty can be white to this lovely color pink. Notice the stripes on the petals. These pink and more striped flowers attract more insects, but it can also attract herbivores like the deer to eat them. For the insects, those stripes are ultraviolet and direct them right to the pollen. As you come along to the ponds, stop and take a look. You might see fairy shrimp or dragonfly nymphs, or maybe even a tadpole for the salamanders. First started taking you on these walks 2 weeks ago. The forest floor was just starting to green up. Now it's a carpet of green. Also blooming right now, you'll find a flower with some tooth-edged leaves called toothwort. Its flowers are whitish purple. These are pretty white. Perhaps I'll find some more purple ones to share with you. Here we find trout lily leaves, just single ones. They do not flower until they have 2 leaves together. It takes about 7 years for the rootstock to build enough energy to produce a flower. Here's the trout lily, or dogtooth violet, another name for it, with its blooms open. Notice it's an upside down plant. Whoever comes and pollinates it has to be able to arrive to it upside down. This trout lily has its leaf or flower petals bent up. That's where it gets its other name, dogtooth violet. It looks like the canine tooth of a dog. As you can tell, the trails are pretty narrow here in the middle of the woods. If you come across another person hiking, please step gently off the trail and allow them to pass. It might also be helpful to turn your back. Along the trail off the boardwalk, you'll come across some logs lining the trail. Gently roll them over and you might find our friend the salamander. Just look at him and gently roll the log back up. Don't touch him, as he needs his moist skin to breathe. And here we have the mayapple, a single one, therefore it will not have a flower. Only the double-leaved mayaples will have it. A week ago they were about half this size and just starting to open their leaves. Oh, there it is. And here we have mayapple again with 2 leaves, and you can see just in between them in the little window the leaves are making the bud. It will bloom in a few days probably, and will grow a little green apple, which comes ripe in May. I'm on the hunt for the Dutchman's breeches. Here are its leaves. They look a little bit like carrot leaves, but the flowers are not present. And here we have another white flower of 5 petals, but notice that it's tall on the stalk and has any slight wind and it quivers. Its stems are reddish or rue color. This is called false rue anemone, and it gets its name anemone because of that quivering that happens in the wind. In the middle of the Hanson Wildflower Trail, you'll find a clump of green leaves with some tall purple blue flowers. These are the bluebells. They grow other places in the woods as well, but this is the biggest thicket of them. In the middle of Busey Woods, you'll find a rubble pile with stairs and slabs of cement and bricks from a chimney. There was never any buildings in Busey Woods. These were all transported here in the late 60s when the Busey family were planning to bulldoze the woods down and build an industrial park here. The houses that this came from were the houses that were located where Lincoln Square Mall is located. They were moved here to help flatten the woods. People ask us why we don't remove this rubble. Well, notice that there are trees growing all around and in the rubble. There's wildflowers and moss. Some of the animals use the rubble for a habitat. If we were to come in and take that out, it'd be kind of like pulling a scab off of a sore and opening up and making areas where invasive plants could move in. So we leave it both to remind us that sometimes we don't think before actions are done, such as dumping in a wildlife area, and 2, that it shows us that nature has a way of fixing itself. As I head back toward the nature center down the trail where the power line is and that bisects the middle of Busey Woods, just one more reminder: if you're not feeling well, you have a fever, or you have any symptoms, please don't come hiking. Stay home and enjoy this video. Thank you.